Coach Hickman's session on top. Now I'm going to focus on the bottom position. Like I said earlier, and I want to kind of reiterate this. Some of the best coaches in the country are high school coaches. Because you think about it, when we get the athletes at the college level, most of them are pretty polished, they know how to wrestle, they've got a certain number of skills, and we try to just polish them and improve them. But you guys are the ones that take them from nothing and make them a champion. So I've got a ton of respect for high school coaches. Okay? You guys have a tough job. Like I said before, many of you don't have many assistants. You have to fill 5 or 6 roles as just a high school coach. So anything I can do to help you guys, give you guys any advice, any drills, anything you can incorporate in practice, that's what my goal is for being here today. This afternoon, I'm going to do I've had a lot of coaches asking me about certain drills and things that you can incorporate into your practice and kind of break up the monotony and also get across the skills that you want your wrestlers to have. I'm going to focus on that a lot in the afternoon session when I talk about practice routines and drills and skills and all those kind of things. So when we come back to one of the first thing I'm working on, this next session I want to kind of focus on the bottom position. And once again, I'm not going to show a ton of moves because you guys can turn on Flow Wrestling and you can, any move you want to see, you can see that. I'm going to focus on a lot on the skills that your wrestlers need to be successful in all positions. Now, from bottom position, a little bit about philosophy. And my philosophy is constant motion. I know as a high school coach, I'm sure that's the biggest frustration you face is when your athletes do not move from the bottom. Same thing at college level. It's so frustrating to get an athlete that will explode up. Maybe the guy mat returns him, whatever, like Coach Hickman was working on, and then what do? They put their head on the mat and waste time. Okay? And that's the most frustrating part of coaching. You know that athletes, if they keep their motion, they're going to be able to get away. And that's why I think that the bottom part of wrestling is mainly just attitude. You've got to have a great will. You're going to keep your motion no matter what. Now, as coaches, we say, you got to keep your motion, you got to keep your motion, you got to keep your motion. In that athlete's mind, sometimes maybe they don't know exactly the skills they need to be able to keep their motion. So that's what I'm going to focus on first. There's several skills that I think are very important for you to have a bottom so you can keep that motion. And so those are the things we're going to work on first. The first one is just a simple knee slide. Okay? Very simple, basic knee slide. We use a knee slide many positions in wrestling. We use it on bottom, we use it on our feet. Okay, one of the drills we'll do this afternoon will be focused on the knee slide. Okay, but from bottom position, especially if you've got guys that like to stand up or explode on the whistle, what happens? They explode up, and what happens? The guy may chop them and they get mat returned to their hands. Okay, their first move gets stopped. Now, what happens a lot of times when that guy jams them or they stop the first move, what do our guys do? Okay? I had a full head of hair before I started coaching. I think that's one of the things that my hair fell out. Just frustration, just knowing that they can do, can keep their motion, stuff like that, and not doing it. So trust me, I know how frustrating that is to coach. We get our first move, we got to turn forward, got one and done. We explode up, the guy chops us and stops our first move, we go right back to our hands. Now, key is we don't want them to stop their motion right here. This is where the knee slide comes in. If a guy mat returns or he jams us to our hands, this is where my knee slide comes. Okay? Outside foot's going to post, toe up. I'm going to kind of reach with this hand just a little bit. And I'm going to knee slide with my inside knee, and I want to get my hips past my hands. Okay? And then the big key is I always come up with my back leg. Step it up in the power position. Okay? This is what I call the power position. Okay? I've got a leg out front, a post, I've got them kind of sealed off here, and I knee slide to separate my hips. There's certain skills, there's certain things you got to have to get away from the body. One is hip separation. Okay? This knee slide is going to allow your wrestlers to get that hip separation they need to get away. So we're just going to start with my basic. I stand up, the guy chops me, I go right back to my hands, but instead of putting my head on the mat, we're going right into a knee slide. Outside foot, digs, toe in, reach. I'm going to knee slide, pushing off my back foot, slide my knee, pass my hand here, my hips are there even with my hand. Okay, that gets me the hip separation. Now, if I just stop here, what's the problem? He's going to pressure into me, and then I'm going right back to my hands. So that's why it's important as I knee slide, my hips pass my hand, trail leg steps up, power position. Now if this guy drives into me, what happens? We come right up to our feet. Right here I can fight hands, work on cutting. Basic knee slide. So when I start teaching this, you know, one idea would be to teach it without a partner first. I think it's really important, especially at the high school level when you're taking wrestlers that are kind of just starting to learn and taking different concepts and trying to be able to incorporate them with the wrestling. So maybe you start this drill without a partner, just teaching them how to knee slide. Okay? Visualizing the opponent, they're going to stand up, guy chops, boom. Foot up, immediately, I'm going to kind of spring off this hand, spring, knee slide, right there to that step. Power position, it's really important, power position, getting that leg out front. If I don't bring the leg out front, guys, it's going to drive us back down to our hands. Okay? We're going to explode up, we're kind of visualizing the guy chopping us, boom, hitting our hands. Outside leg steps, inside knee slides, power position. Bringing that leg, trail leg out front. Now, even if the guy doesn't push into me, now I can back pressure into the guy to come up to my feet. Okay? So that's why it's really important. So it's a good way to teach this. Start with your athletes. Have them drill it shadow drill without a partner. They hit their stand up, guy chops, boom. Step, knee slide, getting to here. It's a basic skill that your wrestlers need to be able to get off bottom. Separating my hips, getting that post leg out front, power position, okay? So now with a partner, it's something like this. You're drilling with a partner. You're gonna stand up, got chop, boom. Step, knee slide, boom. Now, guy presses into me, boom, I come right up to my stance. That leg forward, bite the hand, stay cut. Really important. Okay? That's one skill, keep our motion, being able to knee slide. So if he jams us forward, loads the weight on our hands, that's one way that we can take the weight off our hands, get our chest back up and our hips out. That's really important. Most positions in wrestling, you want your hips in and chest up. Think about it, on your feet. When you guys are shooting, when they score most of the time, their hips are in, their chest is up. Okay, when their chest is down, their hips are back. That's when they get scored on. Anything on the bottom. My hips are back and my chest is down, this guy's going to ride me all day long. Okay, you can throw a blanket on me, I'm not getting up. Okay, but the moment that I slide to here, my chest is up, my hips are out, now I can fight hands and cut. Okay? It's a very important skill, so you're learning how to knee slide from the bottom. Alright?